Hi guys, my name is Kiera, also known as Hobo Kiki, and today we're in my Hobonichi cousin, my baby, my pride and joy, getting chunky but still able to close itself, so I love that for her. And we're doing something a little bit different today, going to show you how I sometimes journal in my Hobonichi cousin. There are two pages that I left blank for this particular weekend, July. I believe it was the 4th of July weekend. I have some stickers from Saucy Sticker Co., as well as some ephemera that I received when I was out on vacation with my family. So I'll be bringing in a lot of that stuff. This is actually a menu for a place that I went to. And yeah, it was like satirical and I just found it funny. But we are going to bring in some of those elements as well as this sticker, or I guess these stickers here that I printed out and cut it with my new printer that was gifted to me. Thank you so much. I'm going to get started with ripping that menu that you saw. It was from a place that we went to, a restaurant, and I am going to tear that and put that on the corners of the left side and the right side of these pages. And while I'm doing that, I did want to just briefly state that I really did think that I had already journaled this. I don't know why, but in my head, I was like, oh, I've already done this. And then I started flipping through my Hobonichi cousin because I do need to record the July flip through as well. And then that's when I flipped through and saw that I did not do this page yet. So, of course, I had to go back and fill everything out. It doesn't bother me when I skip pages like this because I know myself well enough that I will eventually come back to it if I did not journal that day. So I'm not worried about it. If you don't want to journal at all, maybe don't worry about it. Or if you want to just, take a page out of my journal, then just come back to it when you can. And so that's what I'm doing. I decided to revisit this. Luckily, I have all the ephemera still, and I'm pretty clear as to what exactly happened. So I have plenty of what I need to get this journaling spread finished here. This is actually a napkin. It was from like an old school, what are those places called? Like an ice cream parlor? Yeah, like an old school ice cream parlor that's been around for years. So I had to put it in there. And yes, I don't know. You don't have to hold on to receipts and things and stuff like that. You can print out pictures, you can draw what happened, whatever, what have you. But I like all the different textures. So I like the receipts, I like the napkins, I like the pictures, I like the drawings, I love the writing. Like I want it all because all the texture, it just adds so much visual interest. So that's why I keep that. But again, you do you. Actually used to journal a lot simpler, and I will be more than happy to show you that at the end of the video. So if you want to see how I used to journal, and I think like 2020, that was what, dang, that was 5 years ago. But if you want to see how I used to journal, then just make sure you stay tuned to the end. It was either 2020 or 2022. I don't know. One of those Hobonichis. I have both of them, and I journaled through both of them. But if you want to see how I used to journal when doing a memory spread like this, yeah, it'll be at the end. So what did we do? We went to Arizona Boardwalk, and there was so much fun to be had. My favorite thing was definitely the escape room. It was the first time I was in an escape room, and I was there with my kids. And we were, how can I put this in a way that's politically correct? We were about 2 seconds from ripping each other's heads off. So that's the best I got for you. That's the best way I could put it. But in the best way, because we all wanted to solve the clues, me included. But I'm like, let me, step back and let the kids try to figure it out. Use their big brains. And I just let them do them. And then they were like working through it. But the problem was they wanted to be the one to solve the whole thing. And so that was the problem. So when we would find one clue, then they would want to like keep that clue to themselves and not show anybody so they can find the next clue and so forth and so on. They're so competitive. I don't know why they're like that because I'm not even that competitive. Well, sometimes I can be. It depends on the situation, what we're doing. I'm not gonna lie, I can be competitive, but other times it's just like, whoever got it, got it. So I was just so surprised that they were like trying to get to the clue first. And I'm just like, that's not how it's supposed to be. So I was upset because they were fighting because they wanted to freaking get to the next clue. And I'm just like, y'all need to work together. But eventually they figured it out that they were supposed to work together. And we got there. We finished the escape room with more than enough time. So it was all good, all dandy. It was just really funny. Well, first it was just a little bit of a headache. And then it got really funny for me as the parent. But then it was also interesting, just watching them problem solve and then finally figure out to use teamwork. And then when they really got stuck on something, then I would give them a hint based off of what I'm seeing, and then they were able to move forward. It was so fun. It was fun. It was it was a little bit of a hot mess at first, but I think anything that involves me is a little bit of a hot mess at first. We also did the Museum of Illusions, and that was fun. It was also mind-bending. The first thing that happened when we got there, they had like this huge table of this giant puzzle, and I was determined to complete that puzzle before we got out of there. But again, I have kids, so they were also determined to complete the puzzle. So as I was like getting close to the answer, they would come and like shuffle things around. Basically, you had to get the red dot from one side to the other, but you had to move blocks, and you could only move certain blocks certain ways. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so close. But then my son would want to try it, or my daughter wanted to try it, or my other son wants to try it. And of course, it's their vacation too. So I'm not going to say no. Like, let me complete this puzzle. So of course I let them try it, and then they shuffled everything. All my hard work is gone. Just gone, y'all. So needless to say, we did not get a chance to complete the puzzle, but we bought a mini version of that puzzle so that I could finish it at home. And now I know how to complete the puzzle. I just needed that time and space to do it myself, but it has been completed. Another place we went to was like this mining company, and it was so cool. They had labradorite. One day I'll be able to say that crystal's name correctly. But they had like a giant, ow, sorry, I just hit my elbow. I could easily edit that out, but it is what it is. Sometimes I will edit it out and sometimes I won't because, I don't know, I really like to keep my videos conversational and things can happen. I'm very expressive with my hands and my arms when I'm talking, even when recording a voiceover. So things happen. And if you were here with me, you would have saw it. So it is what it is. It's nothing to me. I don't care. We're having a conversation. It's just me and you. Anyways, they had a giant specimen in front of the store. I mean, it was huge. Like, it was taller than me. So when I tell you there was a giant rock that was just glowing in the sun, of course I had to go in there. You guys know I love crystals, rocks, stones, all of the above. So I went in there. And it was actually cool because it was like a jewelry-esque store because, of course, they had the crystals and like earrings and rings and necklaces. Then they had it in their raw forms, or if you just wanted the tumbles, if you wanted towers or spears, they had that. But then on the like backside, they had like a cave inside that you could actually go in there with the kids and like, quote unquote, mine. Like they had like a little checklist to where it's like, oh, find this crystal, oh, find this crystal, and you were back there looking for crystals inside of like a fake cave. It was so cute. But of course I had to leave with a geode, But I have yet to open that geode, and we'll get to that when we get to that. Another one of my favorite things that we did, well, who am I kidding? The whole trip was my favorite thing, okay? But we went to the aquarium and I got to see my babies, aka some sharks, and they were just so beautiful. I actually was able to touch two, and then we also touched some stingrays or manta rays. I always get confused which one's which, but a ray. And we touched some starfish, some anemone, and the anemone was weird because it would like wrap its little, I don't know what they're called, but the little things around your fingers, and that felt weird, but it was interesting. And then there were also sea cucumbers, which also felt weird. And I actually learned like a crazy fact about sea cucumbers. I think the lady said that they spew their internal organs to protect themselves. That is crazy. Like, imagine someone scaring you to the point where you eviscerate yourself. That's crazy, bro. Man, when they said aliens were in the sea, they weren't lying. Please forgive Mr. Shining Sun for like making his guest appearance again unannounced. But maybe I'll have to start filming at a different time of the day because it's just up. He's just doing what he does best, and I can't be mad at him. But yeah, I can understand how the rays of light is a little bit distracting, and I do apologize for that. The funniest thing to me is that we stayed there for a few days, and so we got a hotel, and we stayed at the Talking Stick, which I didn't know was also a casino. And that was the first time I've been in a casino. I don't think there's anything wrong with you doing you, right? Like, it's legal. It's just not something that I would partake in because if I spend money, I want to know where it's going and how it's coming back to me. So if I'm spending the money, it's either coming back to me through service or through making me happy like my plants and my stones do. So I need to know that my money's going to come back to me or it's paying the bill, right? So I guess that counts as service. I need to know that that money is coming back to me. So I can't do gambling. But I don't care. Like, that you do you. I'm never going to stop someone, a consenting adult to do whatever the heck they feel like they want to do with their money. You earn that money, big bro. You do what you want to do with it. My kids, on the other hand, they gonna judge the hell out of you. So I don't know. Y'all know kids, like, they just say what's on their mind, and I am working on them with that. But yeah, they were definitely judging. And I was trying to explain to them why you do need to be careful when gambling, because we were there now. So it's like, it's going to have to be a teachable moment. I can't just pretend like it's not happening. Avert your eyes, children. Like, I can't do that. Like, we're here. They see gambling. So now I got to talk about it. So, of course, we had to have like a powwow and I had to explain why like it's dangerous to gamble, but I also like that's their choice if they want to gamble. Anyways, it was just really interesting. Because maybe that's why you should thoroughly do research, but it wasn't a problem or anything. The hotel was accommodating for kids. They had a kiddie pool. We weren't the only family there. There were other kids there. So it's like it was meant to still be a family thing. It's just that you had to walk through the casino to get to the elevators because the casino was like right in front, like where the lobby is. And I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but then I understand it from a business perspective because then they can kind of like entice you to start using the machine. So I get why they do it like that, but also don't know if I would stay there again. That's all I'll say. But it was still a cool experience. It was a first for me and the kids. So it's not that it was a problem or anything. We also went to a slide park, which is similar to a trampoline park, but with slides. This was more so for the young ones, the boys, basically. They had a lot of fun here, but it was fun, so I wanted to include it. But what everyone enjoyed was the Pangea restaurant that we went to. Everyone loved it so much, we actually had to go twice. It was basically like a restaurant themed after Jurassic Park or just dinosaurs in general. It was giving Jurassic Park, but basically dinosaurs in general. My daughter loved it here. She was actually the one that requested that we go there twice. Oh, and if you're wondering why there's more so pictures of the boys, it's just because my daughter does not really like being in pictures and I do not force her to be. You know, it's kind of like when your friend takes candid pictures of you without your consent and then posts them on the internet without your consent. And then you think to yourself, I want to maybe karate chop them in the throat. But you also remember that you have to be a law abiding citizen. So you kind of just have to let go of those intrusive thoughts. So it's basically that. Like, you wouldn't like it if someone posted your picture. So even though I'm their mom and want to take as many pictures as possible, I will not take pictures if they don't want me to take pictures, and I will not post any pictures they don't want me to post. And really quickly, this is just how I used to journal. Honestly, I love it. I have to come back to it. That's why I keep these things around. Well, for many reasons. But one of the reasons is because they serve as inspiration. Like, look at this. It's beautiful. I might need to start journaling like this again. But that's it. That's the whole layout, the spread, how I pasted in as many memories as I possibly could. Now I'm going to go in with my pen and come back to you guys after writing in it right now. Instead of writing on one page and then the next page, I actually wrote all the way across. So one sentence goes across both pages. And I really like how that came out. I may have to do it again. But this is what I was talking about before. This is the geo that I had from the mining company. I have thrown it at the ground. Someone told me to do that to open it, which I don't know why, because this thing got jumps. You know what I'm saying? Like, Michael Jordan ain't got nothing on this little rock. This thing was just jumping around. I'm like, this is dangerous. I can't be doing this in a in an area where there's other people around. So I stopped throwing it on the ground, right? And now I'm thinking about getting like maybe like a chisel and a hammer and kind of like going to town with it. I don't know. We'll see. Somebody help me help me out. I don't know what to do. I want to open it. But that's basically it, you guys. I hope you liked the video. If you liked the video, feel free to dislike the video. If you dislike the video, it's whatever, bro. I hope you stay safe and you stay creative. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.